You see the thumbnail? Let's talk about it. Anxiety. This is a big thing that's going on with a lot of people in this world right now. And I'm gonna attack this anxiety shit. This anxiety shit. I'm gonna go right in on it. So let's talk about it. Anxiety is a natural human emotion characterized by feelings of dread, worry, or unease, acting as the body's fight or flight response to stress or perceived threats. Common triggers are work pressure, financial difficulties, relationship problems, or significant life changes. Symptoms of anxiety: excessive, persistent worry, racing heart, rapid breathing, sweating, trembling, dizziness, and fatigue. A common symptom is insomnia, rapid heart rate, feeling impending doom, trembling, shaking, sweating, muscle tightness. I don't look at anxiety as something good. And I'm gonna tell you what anxiety is. Anxiety is a dark entity. And what is an entity? An entity is something that causes fear, discomfort, or are not of the light. So they may look at anxiety as something natural that happens in a human being, but I don't look at that. I don't look at anxiety like that. I look at anxiety as something that is like very bad and it disrupts the comfort of a person's life. I used to make fun of people with anxiety until I came down with a serious case of it. Got to be very careful about making fun of anything in this world because what happens is it'll be you that'll be on the table. You'll have that person's problem or whatever it is that you call yourself making fun of. So don't be like me. I would laugh at people who would go to the gym talking about they got anxiety, or anybody, man, making light of this situation like anxiety. Everybody claiming they have anxiety, but haven't been diagnosed with it. But it makes a lot of sense why people are coming down with anxiety a lot because the world has gone through a lot of changes, especially here in America. We've gone through a lot of stuff since COVID. And it's like things have been happening back to back, and it has thrown people's life off. You know, and if you pay attention to media, if you pay attention to current events, you know that we've gone through a lot of different things. So it's like, there's a reason why. That's the reason why people are having this discomfort in their life. I came down with a case of anxiety for a whole week, and it wasn't good. I've never experienced anxiety on this level. Like, I've had glimpses of it here and there, but not to the magnitude of what I just experienced. You see people who get on social media, they try to make little videos about it, but it doesn't explain the magnitude of what a person really goes through that experiences this. This is like horror. When you experience anxiety, man, it's like going through some type of torture. Like what I went through a whole week where I couldn't sleep. Racing heart rate, thoughts all over the place. Every time I would try to fall into a deep sleep, I would just wake up. And that would last all night long. So I would get up in the middle of the night and just sit there and just be looking around like, feeling wide awake, but just feeling like really tired and trying to sleep. I would spend like 8 to 10 hours trying to sleep. Every time I would go into a deep sleep, I would just hear like a voice or something just go off and just wake me up, and my heart would start racing. And when I would wake up, I would feel like impending doom. And I was like, man, this is torture. Now I know what people are going through. I would go to the gym. When I would go to the gym and work out, it would take away the anxiety. I would feel a lot more relaxed, less tense. When I would be out and about, taking a walk outside or whatever, I would feel better doing that, getting some fresh air. But as soon as nighttime hit and it was time to go to bed, that's when the anxiety would come back. And it would happen during the day too, depending on whatever thought entered my mind. So you got to be very careful about the thoughts that you allow to come in your mind. You have to shut that shit down, because whatever thought that's bothering you, whatever that you're going through in your life, it'll trigger that. It'll trigger the anxiety. So your heart start racing. It's like you're going through it all over again. It's really like it's really like a nightmare. So I'm not going to make light of people going through this. But I do have a few suggestions for whoever's going through this. This video may just help you. You have to do a process of elimination. If you're having those nights of insomnia, start journaling. Write all your thoughts down on paper. Write everything down. Don't hold anything back. Whatever it is, just write it down. And that'll help you get some of that anxiety out. Meditate. People probably look at meditation as something demonic or, some new phenomenon, but it's not, man. Meditation can help you enter in a state of peace. So if you just find you a quiet place, turn the TV off, turn social media off, play some nice soothing music, no lyrics to it, just an instrumental, something that's very relaxing, some meditation music, and just sit there, close your eyes, or don't close your eyes at all. Whatever you want to do, but just sit there. You don't have to talk. You don't have to do anything. Just stillness. Just allow the peace to settle in. Just allow yourself a chance to relax. And that may help the anxiety. Stay away from alcohol. Stay away from smoking, because sometimes that can trigger the anxiety. So you don't want to do that. You may have to stay away from certain things on social media, because that may trigger anxiety. Whatever is worrying you, you may be worried about your health, like me. That's one of the things that caused anxiety for me, was my health. Worried about my health all the time, like a hypochondriac, thinking that something was wrong with me, and this triggered me to have anxiety. Another thing I did, I started talking to this female at the gym, and her and I had been talking for a minute. And one day I asked her, I said, "Do you have anxiety?" And she told me she did. And I was like, damn, I've been talking to this lady all this time, and this is probably where this entity came from, because I've never had a problem sleeping at night. I've never had anxiety to the point where it stopped me from getting rest for a whole 7 days. So me and this lady talked, and she started opening up to me about her life. She talked to me about her son. She talked to me about daily activities, certain things she does for her anxiety, and told me the reason why she works out so much. She said that she doesn't work out for looks. She works out to help her relax. And I was like, damn, man. This is probably where I picked up this entity. And that's another thing we got to be careful with for my spiritual people out there. You can pick up these entities from anywhere. You can pick an entity up from a video game. You can pick an entity up from watching TV. You can pick it up from social media. You can pick it up from talking to people. These entities are very clever in they love energy. And what it does is this entity, anxiety, doesn't want you to rest. It doesn't want you to have a good quality of life. It wants to siphon as much energy out of you as possible. It drains the life out of you to the point where you want to be free from this thing, man. That's what it makes you feel like. That's the alternative, because it hijacks your body and it takes over. It takes over your sleep. It takes over your life, period. And when you're on a lack of sleep, it throws you off. So you're more susceptible to a lot of shit happening to you. You're more susceptible to anger. You're more susceptible to falling asleep behind the wheel. You can't concentrate as good. There's a lot of things that happen when you can't sleep. But I'm going to tell y'all like this. One night, I prayed to Christ and I told Christ to take this away from me. And when I prayed to Christ, my anxiety went away. It's like I was able to sleep after that. That night I slept. I woke up the next day. I didn't feel quite rested, but I slept. I was able to sleep about 6 to 8 hours that night. So if you're going through this and all else fails, I mean, Christ is still number one regardless, man. But if you go through all of this, because you got to implement these certain things in your life, you got to make some lifestyle changes. For me, I had to stop operating on a schedule. I had to cut off my alarm clock because that was bothering me. That was triggering the heart rate. You know, that alarm clock going off and just waking me up. I had to stop going to the gym at a certain time. I had to change that up too, because I couldn't go to because going to the gym, operating on a schedule, was triggering the anxiety. So I had to erase a schedule out of my life. I had to remove the way I was doing things. I had to stop. Another thing I had to do, I had to put on a light. I had to dim the light in my room a little bit. One night I cut all the lights off, and I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened, but a couple of nights I slept in complete darkness. And this is what helped trigger the anxiety, when I cut off all the lights. And I don't know why that happened, man. I just remember one song that just kept playing in my mind the whole night I was trying to sleep. Thriller by Michael Jackson. And you want to know what? I hate that song, man. I hate it. Some people love that song, but me personally, I hate that song, Thriller. I don't even know what made Michael Jackson make that song, but to me, that song is very demonic. It's a bad song, man. And the video is even worse. I look at that video, man, I'm like, when I saw that video as a kid, I was just like, why would you make this? Like, you got kids that look up to you. Why would you make something this demonic, this scary? Like, I know even adults was probably scared by that video. Like, there's nothing about that video that I like. Zombies walking around dancing and shit. It's sickening to me. Dead people dancing. I mean, when you really look at it, it's very, like, if you look at the dancing and all that in the video, the way they choreographed it is very, I mean, it's like, it's very artsy, and it's just, it's ahead of its time, man. Like, the dancing on the video is phenomenal, but the video in general is just too much. There's too much dark energy in that video. And I never liked that video. Even from the first time I saw it in the early 90s, it just scared the living daylights out of me. And even at night when I was asleep, I was just, that video, the lyrics from that video just kept playing in my mind over and over. And I was like, that's not a good video, man. That video is demonic. So that's what triggered that video, those lyrics to that video, maybe talking to that lady and cutting those lights off, is probably what triggered my anxiety. Another thing I have a problem with, I never want the day to be over. Because me personally, I actually enjoy my life. And when you get to a place of truth in your life, you're going to enjoy your life too. And what I mean by that is when you pursue your true purpose on this earth, you know what I mean? In this hologram, in this matrix, when you find something that brings you joy, your real truth on this earth, because you do have a truth on this earth in your life, something that you're supposed to do that enhances you, that gives you a sense of well-being and quality in your life. There's something that you should be doing. And when you do that, your life's going to make perfect sense. So because I enjoy mine so much, I never want my day to be over with. So what I had to do is I had to take my light and dim it a little bit to make me feel like it's still daytime. Some people are going to probably listen to this and be like, what? That sounds crazy. But the light Just like you see the sun out in the daytime, well, I had to do my light the same way in my room. I had to make it seem like it's still daytime so I wouldn't feel like my day ended. Because before all of this anxiety, I would fight sleep. I would be up wide awake, not wide awake, but I would be falling asleep and still trying to fight sleep like a baby. Not wanting to go to bed, not wanting to miss out on anything. And I'm like, man, the day is over with. You got to rest. You got to rest so you can be ready for the next day. Another thing is with anxiety, you may have, for me, what happens with me is that I'm enjoying life so much, and then what happens is I start having a fear of death. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, damn, man, I'm enjoying this shit so much to the point I don't want to get off of this roller coaster. I don't want to get off of this ride. And I have to remind myself that this is only temporary. I have to remind myself of that. This is why sometimes I don't like to enjoy life too much, because I don't want to get stagnant and stuck in this. I don't want to forget that there's an end to this thing. You know what I'm saying? So I may feel a level of guilt from enjoying my life too much. Survivor's remorse. I got a lot of homies that's dead, so I think I feel guilty about still being alive. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, those are things that you can do to alleviate anxiety. There's no guarantees, but I'm going to tell you one thing that's a guarantee. Prayer. Pray to Christ. Straight up. None of these methods will probably work, but when you pray to Christ, when you pray to Yeshua, Esau, I'm telling you, he'll pull that thing away. He'll take it away from you. But you got to pray in sincerity. You got to come from the heart. I was in my car one day and I just told Christ, I told Yeshua, man, I said, I can't deal with this. You got to take this cup away from me. It's too much. I can't handle it no more. This is like stopping me from enjoying myself out here. Like if I keep going on like this, I'm going to fucking lose it. And there you go. I was able to sleep. Things started proving. But those 7 days were torture. So now I know what it's like to deal with this. I know what it's like to have insomnia. I know what it's like to be so out of it that you're running from yourself. Because that's what people with anxiety, they do. It forces you to run from your problems. You do so much so you can run from it because you don't want to deal with it. But you got to face it. You have to. You got to look that entity in its eyes. You got to call it out. You may have to sit there and talk to it and ask it, what does it want? And when you ask that entity, what does it want? Things will start coming out. You'll start thinking about certain things in your life. And once you do that, you'll start feeling a sense of peace. Another thing is you may have to get a body massage, a full body massage to relax you, because it can cause a lot of tension in the body. Sometimes the body's so tense that the body can't relax. So this may bring on anxiety. Certain things we eat may bring on anxiety. So you may have to change your diet. Change the times if you're a person who eats late at night, you might have to stop. So there's a process of elimination if you want to reach that place of peace. But I'm telling you right now, there is light at the end of the tunnel. You just got to fight. You got to fight through it. You got to fight, and you got to believe in yourself that you'll be free. Don't hand yourself over to it. Don't give up. I didn't give up. I explored every option. I was up every night researching stuff on my phone, trying to see what triggered it. Where did it come from? And at the end of the day, in any situation, pray. Pray. Pray and meditate. And if you're a person that's on the go, take some time off. Stop working. Stop going to the gym. Stop seeing your girlfriend. Stop doing everything. Just stop. Give it about a day or two and relax. Don't do anything. And it may just go away.